What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Ross, the Tar Heel. And in this huddle, baby, we are going to break down the newest Bill Belichick sit down with Brian Murphy of WRAL in Amelia Island, Florida. Bill Belichick is in town for the annual ACC spring meetings. And that's actually not too far away from where your boys think it's staying right now, at least in comparison to Chapel Hill. So great that he's in the area. Great that he's looking dapper Dan, as you will see here in just a second. And I really thought that this was a good interview for us to comb through for Tar Heel Nation to see, if you haven't already, to just get a little bit more grounded and, settled in back into, what we were anticipating when we got the hiring news of Bill Belichick. So really excited to show you guys this interview. Once again, I'll put it down in the description portion of the video so you can look at it, uninterrupted without my commentary. But obviously, I'm going to have to break it down a little bit, because I don't want WRAL or anybody else to give me a copyright strike. So without further ado, let's listen to the old ball coach and Brian Murphy.
Hi, I'm Brian Murphy with WRAL News. We're here at Amelia Island, Florida at the ACC Spring Meetings, and we're talking with UNC football coach Bill Belichick about the attention that his program has gotten since his hire in December and how he plans to rebuild the Tar Heel football program. One question that we didn't ask was about Jordan Hudson, his girlfriend and creative muse. UNC asked that we keep questions to football.
Now, I think that that's actually a stinking interesting little thing that he put there on the end. One thing that we didn't ask is about Jordan Hudson, his creative muse. You know what? I've listened to this probably like 7 times already, just the intro, and that just actually resonated with me. What is the point of that? That's almost like a little dig, if you will, but whatever, bro. We'll go with it, man. So a little dig there, because that's just an unnecessary stinking statement, but we'll go with it.
Here is our full unedited interview with Bill Belichick.
All right,
when
Mr.
you took
Brian.
this job, that there would be so much attention that you would bolster the profile of Carolina football this much.
I wasn't really focused on that, Brian. It was more just to come in and, try to work with Mike Lombardi and our staff and try to put together a good team and a good program, and represent the school well on the football field. And that's really what we're trying to do.
And so I love that answer off the jump, man, because, he hasn't come in and started talking about national championships and ACC titles and things of that nature, man. He hasn't mentioned that, if I'm not mistaken, one time. They talked about competing at a high level, but, Bill Belichick, Mike Lombardi, the entire staff, man, I think in year 1, 2025, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, because I do think that this is a multi-year ordeal, contrary to what some may say. I think he's really focused on laying the foundation here. Laying the foundation, man. And so, talk about bolstering the program and the eyes that have come upon North Carolina with somebody like Bill Belichick taking the job. And he kind of refocuses it to the program as a whole and what he's trying to accomplish.
So, glad people are excited, but
yes,
really
we are.
Just focused
I
on
am,
the
Bill.
product and delivering.
Has it surprised you at all that so many people want to hear about Bill Belichick at Carolina? So much interest. You guys are going to Ireland.
Yeah.
Already talking
well,
about
that's
Ireland.
a long way off. We got a full.
Which that probably does not happen if Bill Belichick is not the head football coach. Everybody made a big deal about the Hard Knocks situation. That probably does. That for sure does not happen, after Mac Brown is gone, if Bill Belichick is not the head football coach. So there's all kinds of things that this man, this coach, this legend, okay, has, the doors that he's opened for the university. I mean, it's crazy, man, and he hasn't even coached the game yet.
Full season ahead of us before that, but yeah, that'll be exciting. But no, the support's been amazing. The alumni,
And check out the stinking, the shirt, man. He looks clean. Sometimes he can look a little rugged, man, but he looks clean right now.
Carolina fans, and great response from the players, the people there that are on the football staff and on the team. How hard they worked and their commitment to to doing the best they can and try to put a good team together.
Can I ask you what motivates you to stay in coaching? You've accomplished probably more than anybody who's ever picked up a whistle, and now you're kind of starting over in college. What are you trying to prove? What do you have left to prove? And maybe to who do you have anything to prove?
Why are you here,
Yeah,
Coach?
well, I just love coaching. I love all the aspects of it. I love the team building. I love the fundamentals, working with players, strategy, game competition, and just
And he is like a general, like not just any general. He's a great general when it comes to this kind of thing, man. And just the fact that he's bringing all this expertise to team building, fundamentals, just do your job type mentality, man. Gosh, man, I'm so excited about the accountability, man. I'm so excited about the structure, that Bill is bringing to this program, and I really think it's going to pay dividends sooner rather than later, man. Gosh.
just the whole process. Football's been good to me. It's been good to my family. I grew up in a football family, with my dad and around Navy football, and a lot of great players and coaches that I've interacted with in the NFL. So it's fun to be a part of a team.
You mentioned your dad's connection to UNC when you got the job. Was UNC like a sort of a specific school that you would have come to, or if Pitt or Maryland or Oklahoma State?
Was this the only job, right? The NFL didn't want him, so this was kind of his. He had to get back into coaching, so he just took the UNC job.
State had called. Would you have entertained more options than just North Carolina?
Well, UNC is special because of the brand. It's a great academic school. It's a great athletic tradition, and again, the fact that there were some roots there for me.
Amen, Bill.
Early in my life. That was coming full circle was a good feeling.
What surprised you the most, good or bad, about being the head coach at North Carolina?
I've just enjoyed the process, really. Enjoyed the people. The support's been great. It's a great opportunity, and I just appreciate every day at Carolina.
I appreciate every day at Carolina. I enjoy the process, the people, all that, man, right? Not necessarily maybe the response that the reporter is looking for, but, that's Bill Belichick. That's goodness gracious, man, that is vintage Bill Belichick. Vintage Bill Belichick.
You've turned your roster over through the transfer portal, including after spring ball. How difficult, you're only going to have a couple weeks of fall practice. How difficult will it be to build a cohesive team, a winning team, with just a couple of weeks to kind of pull all the pieces together?
Well, it's not dissimilar to the model that we've had in the NFL, where after the draft and free agency signing and all that, you bring in about a third-year team is brand new, and so we'll be somewhere in that range when we start fall camp, but we'll have a couple months with them here in the summer. And
I love that right there, because basically what he's insinuating is this isn't very new to me, right? You got turnover, even in the NFL to a certain extent. It's a little bit different, but the whole concept of, how are you going to put these pieces together in a minimal amount of time, he's basically insinuating that this isn't new. This is what we do.
We've had a good spring with a lot of these guys as well. So it is what it is. I mean, all schools are, have a similar situation, maybe not quite the same numbers, but some degree of, freshmen coming in, transfer portals, some more than others. But we'll take it as it comes, and, excited to have the players that we have and work with them.
I know you like to talk about, you don't want to set expectations, you just want to get better every day, but what does success look like for you at North Carolina?
Getting better every day.
And look, man, listen, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I remember when Matt Brown came in, it did something to my soul just listening to him talk about, we want to compete for ACC championships. We want to compete for national titles, right? Those were those were statements, those were phrases that were not commonly used, leading up to that as far as Carolina was concerned, right? And so just having somebody having the audacity to say those things was pretty awesome. And I do think that the program was on the right trajectory before the NIL and COVID and all these other things happened. But for Bill Belichick to say, listen, I'm not setting expectations, I just want to get better each and every day, right? I think it's a phenomenal way to start things, man, because you do. I think he understands that there's going to be some foundation building, and he's making this program his.
Better every day, but what does success look like for you at North Carolina?
Getting better every day.
Getting better every day, baby.
Coming in and having a good day, having a productive day, and then rest, recovery, and do another one tomorrow and keep stacking them on top of each other.
Like
That's
it.
how you achieve success, is consistency.
Yep,
and
100%.
the discipline to do it
That's life.
repeatedly over and over. So that's what we're going to try to do.
That's life, man. Getting up every day, going to work, hustling, getting it done. Hard work, hard work, hard work. One day doesn't make you. You got to stack them. You got to stack them.
We'll let the process play out, but it's important that we develop a good, solid routine.
How important was it that you get to work with people like Michael Lombardi, your sons? You have a lot of, I guess people would call Belichick guys around you as you embark on this adventure.
Well, we have a few, Brian, but we also have, well over 200 years of NFL experience on the roster and various capacities, from our chef to our nutritionist, strength training, scouting, operations, and so forth. So it's really important that we provide the student athletes with a great experience and everything they need to be successful. And then if they put in the work and we do a good job developing, then hopefully they can achieve their individual goals, and collectively we can achieve our team goals. So that's what we're about.
Like it. Two quick ones. You have a quarterback, it looks like, in Gio Lopez. How are you going to handle that quarterback battle when it comes to the fall, and who do you think might even be in that competition?
Yeah, well, the competition's always in the hands of the players. I can't control performance, so.
Dude, it's in the hands of the players, right? There are no favorites, and that's what I really like about him bringing all these guys in, man, is just trying to instill that competitive nature even within the confines of the Keenan Football Center. Right now, dude, we're competing. We're on the same team, but we're competing, right, for that starting position. And so he said, hey, man, this is in the hands of the football players. We've brought in the personnel to compete. They will compete.
We'll give everybody an opportunity, let the players compete, and we'll see how it all turns out. But,
I love it.
We're excited to have the competition.
And I don't even think that's necessarily just coach speak. I think he's genuinely like, listen, I don't care what you've done in the past. We're going to let everybody compete, and may the best man win.
A quarterback, but really at most every position on the field. And again, it'll be up to the players to perform and earn those spots. Everything will be earned, and
everything
we're not handing anything out.
Will be earned, and we're not handing anything out. This is going to be a true meritocracy, man, which I stinking love. I stinking love, man. And this is not just football, man. Going a little rant here, if you will, but this is about life, okay? Nobody owes you nothing, okay? I don't care how many stars you had. I don't care what you've done in the past. I don't care about your past. No one owes you anything. It is incumbent upon you to get up every single day, go to work, okay, and go and get it. I mean, go and get it, man. And sometimes, you know what that means? That means a 40-hour work week is not enough. If you want to get ahead, if you're working 40 hours a week and you're asking yourself, why can't I get ahead? Well, maybe because you're not doing the things that you need to do to get ahead. It's a meritocracy, bro. You get what you put in, man. You get what you stinking. Everything is going to be earned, and it's a beautiful thing for me that is kind of the culture that we're cultivating within the Keenan Football Center. If you want it, you better go out there and get it, because nothing is going to be handed to you. And guess what, man? That is stinking life. And once again, now you're cultivating a good football culture. And for these guys that don't go on to the next level, you're starting to instill good characteristics in them so that they can move on and they understand that nothing is given to you. So this is far reaching, even farther than just football, man. We're talking about raising men to a certain extent.
It'll be competitive, and the guys will get what they earn, and they're all competed hard.
Get what they earn, baby.
So look forward to seeing what that brings.
You've certainly got a lot of attention here in the last couple months. What's it like to be with football guys, talking football? I know you have some old friends in there, Bill O'Brien, Frank Reich. What's it been like to be at these meetings and really getting into the season?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great to talk about some of the things, with the ACC, college football, things that, are all of us are involved in. There's certainly a new model here for college football, NIL, and rev share, and other things that are, being discussed with the House settlement that are sort of up in the air, but they're sort of coming together. So just everybody's trying to figure it out and, get ready for the season.
How much are you talking in those meetings? Obviously, you're a respected voice when it comes to football, but, there are people who've been coaching college football a lot longer. So are you speaking up, or are you you sitting back and kind of taking it all in?
Oh, I'm listening to people like Dabo who've had a lot of success and have been doing it a long time.
I like it. Even the humility right there, man, to say, hey, listen, Dabo's had a lot of success, and he's been coaching college football for a while, so I'm being attentive. I'm being attentive. and I'm listening to what he's got to say. He's a respected voice. And I think that's pretty stinking
Thank you so
cool,
much.
man.
Great.
Appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Absolutely fantastic, man. I thought it was a great interview, and like I said, man, I really do have the utmost faith that this thing is going to work, man. I mean, like as far as college football is concerned, and Bill Belichick, Russ the Tar Heel trust, man. I mean, just like I said, the culmination of changing the culture, hard work, instilling work ethic, attention to detail, holding people accountable, encouraging guys to do their stinking job, man. You know, I just think that as a young man, this is a great place for, young student athletes to come and play college football right now, man. It's just it's a great place for you to come and grow as a football player and as a human being. I really do think that, man. And so I am so excited for this daggum season to start, man. And like I said, I'm so motivated. I'm so excited. I got so much hope, for this program under the tutelage of Bill Belichick. And it's good, interviews like this that just really kind of make me want to dig my heels in, and stand the ground, for coach and the program right now, because there's a lot of pushback, man. There are a ton of haters out there, dude. And there really are, man. I really do believe that there are a ton of people who they don't want this to work. It's just that's just the nature of media, man. What do they say? If it bleeds, it sells, or something of that nature. People are always looking for negative, 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 negative. They don't want to focus on any of the positives, like the transfer portal class that he's got coming in. They, we're not focusing on that. We want to focus on the negative, because that's what, all the high school girls want to stink and, listen to. And they want to, play with their hair and everything as they listen to listen to all the gossip, man. And I'm really not into it. I'm a stinking red-blooded American, Carolina blue-blooded American, if you will. And I want to talk about some daggone football, man. And so, like I said, really excited about what Coach is talking about. Thought it was a great interview. Looks pretty good. And for all of the individuals that would be like, well, that was vague. He didn't really say anything. You know what? That's Bill Belichick. Okay, he's not going to stink and lay all his cards out on the table for you so that you know where he's at. Anything like that, man. I read a comment, and I wish I had my book. I got it actually out of my truck right now. But there was he's got a friend. I think it's the lacrosse coach at UNC, and he said everything that you think, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said everything that you think that Bill Belichick is, he isn't, and everything that you think that he isn't, he is. So, he's just being Coach Belichick, man. And I think he's got a lot of people way out in left field, when it comes to what they're deducing, the status of the program of is, if you will, man. So you guys let me know down in the comment section what you think about this interview, man. How excited are you for Carolina football? And if you're one of the stinking haters out there, man, that think that this is all a facade, he's never going to coach a game, what about Jordan Hudson? Everything else, man, you stinking leave a comment too. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the daggum channel. It is a great day to be a Tar Heel, and we will catch you on the next one, Tar Heel Nation. Go Heels.